when the U.S. Army goes full SJW. Let's go.
I've been working out, so.
All right, guys. Got a new cycle picking up on Saturday. Just got back from battalion meeting, got a couple of notes. Got a couple of complaints about excessive profanity, so we're gonna have to cut all that out. So
This guy's pretty funny, a combat veterans of channel. But you can imagine, since drill instructors, drill sergeants, every other word is an F-bomb, some kind of profanity, that would be a major shift, right? Then you get this first sergeant who generally, they were DIs themselves, but now their company men are going to send it down the pipe. Like, these guys don't cuss amongst themselves all the time, these young privates. But the mothers of America don't want them to get their feelings hurt. So here's what we got.
no more using
Fuckface? I can't say fuckface anymore?
No.
Shitbird?
No.
Dirt sack. It's not really profane. Took all of the profanity out of that one.
Okay, you're right in a line here.
Okay. Fuckface.
No, we just covered this.
So can I use like skull fucking? Can I skull fuck my, can I say it? Skull fuck my soldiers. I'm gonna skull fuck you!
Nope, that's a sharp complaint.
You got to have the knife hand, right? So they went to friggin', right? So instead of saying the F-bomb, they were saying friggin' a lot. But then they get pissed, even when I was in. This is a long time ago, right? 30 plus years. And the F-bombs would come out, the racial slurs, the homosexual slurs. I mean, it was a common thing. Did they dislike anybody? No. They said everybody's green, dark green, they call it if it was a black fella. Light green if it was somebody like me. No one thought twice about it because everybody got picked on.
We can say fuckface like when we're talking privates and we're like, hey, fuckface.
Let's just take fuckface out of the whole conversation. Okay, second issue we need to bring up. When it comes to corrective action by physical training, we need to stick to the exercises that are prescribed in TC 350-6.
Waterboarding's in there, right?
Waterboarding is not in there.
What if we use a half a gallon as opposed to a full gallon?
No one should be waterboarding.
You know, this skit, what they're doing is saying what the DIs or drill sergeants are thinking, right? So they may not say this to the first sergeant. They're like, all right, the first sergeant's got to tell you. So if you get busted doing it, he can say, hey, it wasn't me. It was that guy. But they know what happens. It's almost like hazing in a frat. It's still going to happen in one way, shape, or form, whether it's a black flag day and you're in the barracks and they're wearing you out and hiding you in the woods, or they're not cussing at you, or not putting you in the quarterdeck or giving you a little boost in the crotch when you can't push anymore. It's kind of part of it. If we don't do it, what do we get? We already have a bunch of couch potatoes in the generation who don't play sports, who need more of this stuff, not less. You guys let me know in the comments. Do we need less PT and less physical interaction? Do we need more? I don't know how you could vote for the less.
One in basic training.
Amazon has these new like microfiber where you can really breathe through it better than just the regular towels that we were using. What if we get those?
Those are really good towels, and they're like waterproof at some point, so it doesn't really get damp. It's not heavy.
It'll still have the effect, but they'll be able to breathe.
Wait, that you were using?
You know, all these drills, whether they be first sergeants or not, at one point, like I said, they were drill instructors. So they know what happened to them when they were in the drill field. As an instructor, they know what happened to them as a recruit. You know, now they're paper pushing and they got to send down the message from above. The problem is, like getting rid of the shark attack, how does that help the soldier when they get deployed? You know, ultimately, let's take the comedy out. How does that help the end product of the soldier? How does that help them get back home to their family and become productive after the military? If they don't have a little stress and a little real talk, because when they get out in the real Army, the real Marine Corps, guess what? The F-bombs are letting loose. The beatdowns are ensuing. The E4 Mafia is a real thing.
What if we put a soldier in a coffin, bury it, so that, you know, he has personal time, right? Personal time, and he has time to reflect on what he's done to warrant him being in a coffin buried 6 feet on the ground.
A lot of time to think by yourself.
A lot of time to think.
No, that's attempted murder.
Exactly.
Or if we're pumping a small amount of oxygen from the top down to the coffin.
Have you seen Deadpool?
I have seen Deadpool. That is a great film.
Yeah. Deadpool.
that's the kind of stuff they talk about too. Like he's talking about the cough in the air. Obviously extreme, but the crazy exercises, the scuzz brush races. Right? Whoever thought of that? Like this little brush to sweep the deck on each side of the platoon space, right? The squad bay. But instead of using a regular broom, you're down in a goose duck walking position, right? You get great exercise, but then make that into a race. Before the race, drink 5 canteens of water, then race. Then what happens? You puke. So these little exercises like he's depicting here are a real thing. The DIs, I think, come up with something and go, that looks miserable. Let me try this on top of it.
Totally lived.
Just in that.
I think, just, you know.
And if it's pure oxygen, he's going to be happy. He might want to go
We're
gambling.
not touching him. He's by himself.
Let me think about it, but for now, no.
Okay, I got an idea. Work with me here. Electrocution.
Electroshock therapy!
Electrocution worked. Abu Ghraib, that totally worked. We get some canine handlers.
I know for sure a small taser will fit in this pocket. I've tried it. Just take it out.
Totally survivable.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
The
Private.
survivability rate is higher than COVID.
No. Let's just stick to push-ups.
All right.
All right.
Usually they're thinking, so what you're saying, wink, wink, is that we can't do this, but we may be able to do that. That whole thing.
Next issue. We need to talk about making sure that the soldiers have an adequate amount of time to eat their chow.
Sure.
Absolutely.
15 seconds.
No, not 15 seconds. 15 minutes.
Eat it now, taste it later.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Gotcha. We read you.
No, it's
Yeah, there we go. He's like, gotcha, we read you. Normally, the first sergeants, they're going to say it, but not dig, right? It's almost like your recruiter. They're going to say, do you do drugs? Use drugs. As they look at you, put their head down like, the answer is no, right? You're not going to pop on a test. That's typically what would happen. If you've got a first sergeant that's practical, just don't get caught.
15 minutes.
Roger that, first sergeant.
Cool.
Next subject.
No, this subject. They have to have 15 minutes to eat their chow.
So 13 minutes and 55 seconds of push-ups. And then the other minute and 5 seconds.
No, I don't know how you're not getting this.
Roger, I hear you. I read you. What if it's walking from the barracks start time to the chow hall because they have to file in one line, and by the time they sit down, it'd be at the 14-minute mark?
No, it's 15 minutes from the point that...
Now, did any of you guys ever get to eat for 15 minutes? I think the answer to that is no. I doubt they do that today. But if you were a squad leader or a guide, you were eating last. Normally, when the platoon got kicked out, you got the boot.
Sit down to eat their chow. You have to give them 15 minutes to eat chow.
What the fuck is going on here? First sergeant.
Next thing you're gonna tell me they get cake too.
Well, I mean, if they want it.
This shit.
I mean, the things have changed. So...
What happened to you?
Things have changed. We've gotten what's perceived to be a softer generation because of video games and the internet, yet we're going to soften up the training. I don't see how that works. I'm going to say the last 10 years of soldiers and Marines have been outstanding. They fought more wars, more battle than anybody else. But these new recruits coming in with everything dying down and the winds of social justice going every which way to Sunday, I feel bad for them because it's going to take away from their experience and their growth as a young man or woman. And then, God forbid, they go to combat. They want as much stuff done to them as possible so things don't bother them, whether it's sitting in a warehouse in Bagram as a supply clerk or being an SF guy out in the field. The more you can do, the better. So you build up that mental toughness, as in patience, as in, hey, this will end. Not the cliche of mental toughness.
I wouldn't follow you in a war anymore.
Exactly.
First sergeant.
At least you put first sergeant on the end of it. All right, moving on. If these soldiers want to go to the troop medical center, we gotta let them.
Life flimmer eyesight, first sergeant. Life flimmer eyesight!
No, if they fill out a sick call slip, then we have to let them go to sick call.
First sergeant, it will behoove you to reread your notes. Make sure you're getting these right.
Then you're going to get the Onesians of the world, right? The guys that are always at sick call. They find a scam for the military. So they're going to get through boot camp enough, being the sick call recruit, the light duty recruit. They're going to get out in the Fleet Marine Corps or in the Army somewhere and get through just long enough where they got PTSD. And they're really a head case. They shouldn't have got in. Then they're going to find a way to scam the system. That's what's going to happen. And then people who need it can't get in to see the VA because of these jackasses.
But they'd be missing training, First Sergeant.
That is correct.
Pertinent training.
So how do we get them up to speed on training? What, am I supposed to pull overtime?
You're gonna have to find white space.
I'm a drill sergeant. I work 15 hours a day.
We gotta make sure that they have an adequate amount of sleep as well. So we're gonna make sure that they get a full 9 hours blocked.
9?
My lord.
It used to be 4. This is like double plus 1 of the hours.
Who's supposed to pull fire guard?
Who's doing the math here? The VA? Is the VA stepping out of the fucking basic training?
He couldn't have said it right. You know, the VA, so for those of you who don't know, let's just say you're 20% for a knee and 20% for your hearing. Throwing numbers out. You'd think that equals 40% disabled, right? Service connected. No. That equals some other number, like 34% or something. That's what he's talking about. It is the wackiest system, but it's just the law, right? So you got to have like 170% to be 100% disabled. Let me give you an example. I had a friend of mine who was shot in the ass. The bullet went through his ass, out his leg, and tumbled, an AK-47 round. Part of his ass was missing, his leg. He was a mess. And when I talked to him, at one point he was 60% disabled. And he was full unemployability, but his permanent disability was 60%. And he was wounded in the hospital for a long time. I don't know what happened since, but that's the kind of stuff he's talking about.
Regulations?
Take it. Take it.
I get it. Look, these are the new rules. We're gonna follow the rules. We're following these rules because it's the new rules. I get it. I've got a couple of things to take care of, and I'll let you guys work out the new training schedule on your own.
Everything you just said, I just let go in one ear and out the other.
Can you believe the nerve? I can't wait for him to retire.
Does he remember? He used to be a little twig of a man.
Yeah.
And it's basic training that made him a first sergeant today.
Exactly.
Basic training.
Exactly. It's like people forget where they get their balls from.
You know, they'll say it to these guys like, hey, you need to do all this because they have to, right? With the expectation they won't do it. And so then they'll get marked down on their fitness reports if their platoons aren't squared away. And they're not squared away because of the weakness in the training, like in this comedy skit.
You know?
He got his from basic. Yeah.
If you guys want me to do more of these type of videos on comedy skits, you've got some good people to recommend, please do. Check out this guy's channel, A Combat Veteran. I'll see you in the next video.